favorite deep sea creatures. I'm going to start you off with my personal opinion, the grossest. The hagfish. Now this is technically not really a fish, but these guys are, they're so primitive, they have skulls but no vertebrae. They're one of the only living creatures in the world that have that characteristic. Now, they're scavengers. They eat stuff at the bottom of the ocean. They're only about 1.5 feet long. And what makes them disgusting is their natural defense mechanisms. Adult hagfish, which is 1.5 long, like I told you, can turn a 5-gallon bucket of salt water into pure slime. Pure slime. So if something bites them, it just gets all in their mouth, their gills, and their eyes just like, oh, this is disgusting. So in general, these guys, very primitive, very successful species though. Next, I'm going to tell you about the mantis shrimp, one of the most beautiful creatures in the sea. These guys have one of the most advanced visual systems of any living creature. The average living creature has between 2 and 5 cones to see color and light. These guys have 16. They can see like light spectrums that you can't even imagine, you know, like gamma rays, ultraviolet, all kinds of crazy stuff. Scientists are studying them to try to like get better, actually like looking at like using telescopes to look in space and everything, because they have such advanced systems. It's quite impressive. And these guys are also incredibly efficient hunters. The way they hunt and kill their prey is that they will crawl along, find something they like, and snap their front claws at it. And their claws are so strong that snapping them at something is equivalent to a rifle shot. It is so strong that it actually makes the water around their claws boil and make little bubbles, and when the bubbles pop, it creates a vacuum. And when that vacuum goes out, it creates a shock wave that kills or stuns their prey. So overall, they're pretty impressive for little crustaceans about this big. Next, I'm going to talk to you about the football fish. This is a type of anglerfish, and they're called that because, as you can see, they have a lure on top of their head. It's a bioluminescent lure, which means it glows in the dark. And that's actually a modified dorsal fin, which is pretty cool. And football fish have incredible sexual dimorphism, which means that there's a huge difference between males and females. Females, like you see here, are 10 times larger than the male. The male is this little tiny guy, she's about this big. He's a little guy kind of cruises around with an incredible sense of smell. If he smells a female, he'll swim up to her. Besides he likes her, he will bite onto her sides and exude an enzyme from his mouth that melts his jaws, teeth, tongue, everything, and actually causes her flesh to grow into him. And he basically lives forever as a parasite, only existing to fertilize her eggs. And she can have up to 10 of these guys on her, so she gets around. Alright, next animal I'm going to talk about is the sperm whale. They are not called sperm whales because they look like sperm. They're called sperm whales because their heads are filled with very fine oil known as spermaceti, and that helps them with echolocation, which is where they make very high-pitched sounds with incredible energy that go out, bounce off of things, come back, and they can kind of listen to it and be like, okay, I kind of know what's around me now. It's pretty impressive. They're deep-sea hunters. They primarily hunt giant squid. And what sperm whales are also known for, besides being deep-sea hunters with giant heads, is they make a nasty substance called ambergris. And what that's used, that's like this weird, floating, stinky, waxy substance that you sometimes will find floating on the ocean. And frequently in the center of these gross balls is like squid beak. So they theorize that they make this stuff because they want to protect themselves from the squid beaks they eat. This substance is primarily used in perfumes to help it last longer. It's super gross. So don't worry, just cover yourself in whale vomit, no big. Alright, last animal is the giant squid, which are the sperm whale's favorite food. Giant squids, they think, can get up to about 40 feet long. At least the females can. And when they're alive, they're this vibrant red color like you see here. As soon as they die, they tend to kind of fade in color. They actually tend to explode when people see them. But you tend to see them alive very briefly on the surface. There's such low pressure that they can't survive. They literally explode. These are actually incredibly efficient hunters. They have the largest eyes of any living creature, about the size of a basketball. Bigger than even the biggest whales. And they have a beak in the center of all their tentacles, like I said, and their tentacles are also covered with, like, either little suckers that have teeth on them, or big old hooks that'll wrap their prey and just kind of rip it apart. They're pretty nasty, pretty efficient, pretty old. Anyway, hope you enjoy my talk about deep sea creatures.